Assalamualaikum. Welcome to Member Spotlight. Today, our guest is Ziad Itani. Ziad, welcome to the show.
Assalamu alaikum, Kashif. How are you doing?
Doing well. Looking forward to learning more about you. So, tell us your story. How did you get to where you are today?
Wow, that's a great question. Thanks for asking. So I guess it all started. I'll give you a little bit of a brief background here. When I was at the around like 13, 14, age of 13, 14, I actually had my own YouTube channel growing up. I used
Mhm.
to be a musician, so I liked the concept of kind of presenting and sending out music and having people listen to me and I put out my first video in 2000, I think it was June, I think 2011, and it was like a cover of a song of James Blunt or something like that.
Okay.
And it got a lot of hits. It had like 10,000 hits or something like that in the first like 3 days, and I got a little bit scared. I was like, oh, this is this is a little bit too much attention. But alhamdulillah, there was a lot of learnings there through YouTube. I got invited to the partnership. I think I was one of the first people that I invited to like to advertise on YouTube and stuff like that. Um, but that's long gone. That's my kind of relationship with YouTube there. And growing up and going into YouTube and going into college, I thought I wanted to do something with YouTube. And I found out that I was a little bit better at promoting people, creators, innovators, instead of promoting myself. So that I used that concept to kind of, push a channel that I had thought about, and it was called Hayat Media,
Mhm.
and it was kind of like an Islamic education edutainment channel concept, and it had this kind of vision of being a multi-channel network on YouTube. And if you're not aware of that, it's like just a bunch of channels that are owned by a big kind of top company. For example, Disney owns a lot of these, for example, and you may think that these creators are just by themselves, but they're actually sharing revenue with Disney, for example, under
Okay.
some sort of top channel. Um,
Mhm.
so that was a little bit of a long game. I didn't like it because judging by the passive income and all that stuff, it would have taken me 5 to 10 years to get to an even break even point. And that's if you get creators under your belt and stuff. So it was like, it's not something that I don't want to do, in the long term. So I just kind of finished college and straight out of college, I realized that I had a passion for marketing, Islamic kind of content, because I was part of the MSA in college, kind of found myself there. Um, I figured, it was a really good experience for me. Kind of, it was more of a self-actualization moment. And growing up, we had this kind of concept that we were kind of scared to tell people who we are, because 2001 happened and there was 9/11, and there was kind of an identity shift there growing up, and I wasn't very comfortable being Muslim. Like internally, I was comfortable with that,
Mhm.
but externally, I wasn't comfortable telling people I was Muslim. For example, one of my family members used to tell me to just say you're French, and that kind of the kind I kind of went with that for a while, and then in high school I never told people I was Muslim. It wasn't until college I was like, okay, this is it. Like I'm gonna come out of and say I'm Muslim. You know, um, so that was a liberating experience because I was like, okay, I could finally be myself without caring about what anybody thinks, right? So that's kind of like where Barakah Agency came about, and finding this company, and I've always had a vision, a dream to start something, a business, and I wanted to do something that would benefit society, benefit humanity, without actually pushing myself in a way, and then
Mhm.
the thought came, why don't I push other people, leaders in the community, leaders internationally, whatever, what have you, right? And the concept of going out about it by yourself, I think, is not a great concept. I think you have to partner. You have to partner with people. You have to partner with like-minded people that share your vision. And whether it's family, whether it's friends, and whether it's coworkers or people that you meet, you network with, that's kind
Mhm.
of where Bad Cat Agents came from. And we're a Dawah first company, so that means basically we work with Muslims to remind them of their purpose, and then we work with non-Muslims to remind them of their purpose. You know, um, So in a way, it's like kind of like, you know, we're not openly, promoting Islam. We're saying there's some principles of our company that are very Islamic. Um, but when we actually, talk to people, we talk to prospects, clients, we work with them, we're very general in a sense because we believe, these concepts are can be taken at a grand scale, right? Like, and it's not just for specific people; it's for everyone, and that's kind of how we do our work. It's uh, I did I think am I going too deep here? But that's kind of where Barakah Agency came from, and then the concept of preserving faith is very big to us, and we're a very faith-based company, preserving life, preserving, family, wisdom, and wealth. Those are kind of like 5 key core principles that we kind of focus on. So yeah.
No, that's definitely wonderful to see how you have came about and how your upbringing and along with being part of MSA and how it changed your life and the trajectory of your life. So, share with us a little bit more about the services that Barakah Agency provides. What type of work that you do?
Yeah, so we actually do a lot of everything, and, our specialty actually starts with marketing strategy.
Mhm,
So from marketing strategy, we kind of stem out into content strategy, and from content, we go to SEO, SEM, which is like paid media,
mhm,
conversion rate optimization, which means basically like when you go to someone's website, right? Like you think that they just kind of wrote the website without any actual like strategy behind it. But
yes.
there's specific things that you could do to your website to make it conversion ready, meaning that somebody is going to give you their information willingly, right? Um, you know, uh, without compromising any ethical values or anything like that. So we really, specialize in that ethical aspect of marketing and making sure that the marketing in itself is ethical, right? So ethical marketing is kind of our forte, and from that stems the services that we offer, which is all that stuff that I just mentioned, video marketing, and we're dabbling a little bit more into e-commerce lately, which is an interesting avenue. It's a bit harder than lead generation, but we're very good at lead generation, alhamdulillah. um, so yeah, that's kind of a little bit about what we do.
Okay. Any examples that you can share about your customers, the work that you did, and how they achieved success through the campaigns that you ran?
Yeah, it's a great question. So we have a couple of clients that we work with. One being in the healthcare industry. It's a lactation consultant, private practice, and they wanted to kind of launch their website from scratch. And we did that for them. We launched their website, and we worked with them in creating a strategy that would, give them at least like an initial boost, um, and have them ready to kind of, tackle business and leads and really build the whole kind of funnel from the beginning to the end, right? When I say funnel, I mean like when somebody sees the website, right? That's kind of an awareness stage, right? When somebody considers kind of the content or considers the lactation consultant, that's in the consideration stage, right? And then when somebody gets to the point where they want to make a decision, right? That's the actual we call that bottom funnel in marketing. So we kind of optimized that process from beginning to the end. We implemented HubSpot to automate some things like emails, kickbacks. When somebody fills out a form, like we automatically, HIPAA compliant, of course, at the forefront, and which we found out to be very hard actually. There's a lot of things that you can do and you can't do, but alhamdulillah, we use some tools, like I forgot what it was called, but it was like IQ, or I think, or something like that. But it was very I practice IQ or something like that. But it was a really good, really cool software that kind of helps you with that stuff. Um, Alhamdulillah, after we actually launched the website, we started out with some initial ads, and with Google Ads is one of our specialty. So um, within a 3 month span, and the client can kind of advocate for us for this. We broke even in 3 months from an ads perspective. So And we
Okay.
kind of see this with a lot of our clients, and it takes about 90 days to kind of prove a concept.
Mm-hmm.
And we have this kind of, we call this like the day zero concept. And in, in Google ads, when you run ads, it takes about 45 days, right, to kind
Mm-hmm.
of get to where you want to be. And that concept is like kind of really hard to understand from a client perspective, but we try to do that, educating in advance and say, hey, it's going to take us a while. This, you're going to expect like 45 days of brutality. It's like you're going to realize like, okay, well, nothing's coming in, but then there's a learning machine algorithm going, and alhamdulillah, we optimized it, and through the Google ads, we were able to, increase the leads by 15 times, break even the first 3 months, and alhamdulillah, a profitable business now.
All right, that's definitely good to hear. So you are based in Los Angeles, and do you focus most of the clients that you are servicing? Are they in Southern California, or do you have clients nationwide?
That's a great question. We serve clients nationwide,
Okay.
um, but if there are people in, Southern California, we like to work with people that are local as well, because we get to see them in person.
Mhm.
Go out for lunch, have some coffee, go pray Jummah together, whatever, right?
Mm.
So that's something that I like myself personally. I like seeing people in person, and being a digital first company with our employees, and being on Zoom all the time, it's just a little bit hard to kind of build connection sometimes. Of course, there's different ways
Uh-huh.
to do that, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, we do serve locally and nationally, and we want to, from a grand scheme perspective, like we want to serve globally eventually, inshallah.
Okay. So what are your goals for the next 2 years?
Yeah, so 2 years, we want to see, obviously, be at the forefront of ethical marketing. Like we like this term a lot, because we see that it's not a term that's defined yet in a way that's, you know actually ethical yet. So it's like, we're all about this kind of concept, and being, a thought leader in that industry in ethical marketing, because we think that, with the way and the trajectory of things of going in society with AI and all that stuff, we need to put ethics at the forefront. And, Muslims are, not just, ready for that, but I think they're very core to that, building the ethics into something, because we have a lot of ethics, alhamdulillah, I think, that are very, you know, um, how do I say this, universal, like the things that I just mentioned in the beginning of this interview: preservation of faith, preservation of life, preservation of family, preservation of wealth, preservation of, knowledge, right, and wisdom. I don't know anybody that is against that. You know what I mean? Like, faith in itself is such a general thing, right? And even if you don't believe in God, for example, that's your faith. That's
Uh-huh.
great. Like, I 100% am, for, the freedom of religion, and to practice your own religion. And I think that there's a lot of things happening that, are against, from the general perspective, are against the freedom to practice religion itself. I
Hmm.
think, those are things that we want to combat, and we want to be proactive instead of reactive. So in the next 2 years, we want to be at the forefront of that battle. So if you want
Yep.
to call it a battle, I guess. I mean,
Yep. You mentioned about AI, how AI is changing the industry that you are in.
yeah, there's so much to talk about here. We can have a podcast about this, Kashif. I mean, that would be such a great topic to talk about. So AI is just, recently Apple is kind of talking about the beta release of their Apple Intelligence in, I think, September, right?
Yep.
And I was talking about this for the last 5 years with, my friends know me, my family. I'm like, hey guys, this is where we're headed. It's going to be on your phone. Siri is going to be your AI personal assistant, like, and it's going to take care of everything for you, right?
Hmm.
Um, so AI being at the forefront, um, I'm not saying I'm like, I know everything. I don't. I really don't know anything. I'm learning as I go, alhamdulillah. But I think that, collectively speaking, I think we can all agree that AI is moving to a point where, like, there's a lot of things happening. There's a lot of moving parts where you realize that some skills are, not going to be as necessary as they used to be. And one of them being in my field, marketing. So
Hmm.
we're constantly kind of being at the forefront of that and realizing that you don't sure you may not need a lot of help when it comes to manpower and all that stuff, but you need strategy, you need humans, you need your company to be human backed, right? So that's kind of like where we see ourselves kind of the value add is making your company more human, and also the values aspect behind it, right? Like I think 80% of people don't follow a company because they believe in their services. They follow them because they believe in the movement, they believe in the values. Values first is really what we're all about, right? And AI at the forefront, I think a lot of that can be muddied in the water, right? And you have to find ways to be ethical in the process, and you have to find structures, foundations to build the ethical concepts, whether it's in marketing or in your field, whether it's finance, whether it's healthcare. I think there's a, a big movement to ethical structures and foundations to be built, and we want to help do that, inshallah.
Okay,
Yeah.
sounds good. Any let's talk about anything outside of work that you do, any interests you have or hobbies.
Yeah, it's a good question. So I like hiking. I do a lot of hiking. Once in a while I go out to about on the beach and do some walks. Love
Hmm.
hanging out with my family, my kids, my wife. And you know, what else? Um, yeah, I mean, I'm a family man, so like I like to hang out with a lot of family. And recently I just got into swimming, so I don't know if you noticed the haircut here. So it's like it helps with the aerodynamics of the swimming. So alhamdulillah, it's something that I used to do in college, and then I'm bringing it back because my health is, I feel like I'm getting a little bit older, so I need to get back on track here.
All right, no, sounds good. Swimming is a good workout.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
all right. Anything that you would, any advice that you would give to fellow Muslim entrepreneurs?
See, that's the thing. Sometimes we feel like we're not, you know, um, we're not good enough to get advice, and I think that comes stems from the fact that I also this is a personal thing. I feel like I'm too young to do anything by myself, you know. And with that concept in mind, I think that that's great advice by itself. Don't try to do anything by yourself. Find people, connect with people. For example, mashallah, AMCOB is a great network, and I think you can find like-minded people who share the same visions as you, um, and can help you get to where you need to be in life. And um, in the process, making society a little bit better. I think if there's any advice, is don't go out about it at your own. Don't do it by yourself. Find partners, find people to help you get there. Find a circle that can, you know, um, be your kind of safe space to discuss things, because going at it alone is a difficult thing. It's a difficult process, and that's why there's people out there that kind of are able to help you and guide you in that process. And if you need a little bit more in the help in the process, Barakah Agency is there to guide you as well, inshallah.
Right. No, thank you. And that's a great advice. Many people don't realize it, that it takes a village whenever we want to accomplish anything in life. And so thank you for being our member, and thank you. Looking forward to seeing your company grow and reach the global level that you envision now.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Kashif. Jazakallah khair. Take care.
Thank you. Assalamualaikum.
Assalamu alaikum. Bye bye.